Now, the meeting of the 15-member body that leads the United Nations began with remarks by the Secretary General. He urged the world to let the OPCW do its work and get to the bottom of what actually happened in Douma. Now, from there, we heard from the representative of the Russian Federation, and he talked about how these heated allegations about a chemical attack are essentially the basis for a pretext that the USA is using to justify a military strike. And furthermore, he talked about the fact that in so many circumstances, there has been a level of hypocrisy. This is what was said by the representative of the Russian Federation.
We saw recent examples in Iraq and Libya. They show us that the US needs the UN Security Council for pragmatic reasons. They used it in the case of Iraq with the vial. They used it to cover up the initiative of the Libyan no-fly zone. And that's what's being done now. You are showing us an imaginary vial. It's empty.
Now, from there, we heard from Nikki Haley, the representative of the United States. And when Nikki Haley spoke, she accused Russia of killing the Joint Investigative Mechanism. However, she kind of glossed over the fact that the United States actually vetoed a resolution from Russia that would allow the OPCW to do their work and actually visit the site of the alleged chemical attack in Douma. Now, from there, Nikki Haley started making some rather interesting-sounding historical analogies. This is Nikki Haley on the floor of the UN Security Council.
Chemical weapons didn't produce the most casualties in World War I, but they were the most feared. In World War II, chemical weapons were employed on an industrial scale against civilians, resulting in the worst genocide in human history, which we recalled just yesterday on Holocaust Remembrance Day.
Now, from there, it's important to note that we also heard from the People's Republic of China. And China urged the international community to come together and avoid tensions, and they furthermore called for Syria's territorial integrity and sovereignty to be protected. Now, under the UN rules, if your country is the subject of the meeting, you're allowed to then address the UN Security Council, the 15-member body that leads the UN. So from there, we heard from the Syrian Arab Republic. And the Syrian representative pointed out that the United States has used chemical weapons in places like Vietnam and was harshly critical of the Council and said that the Syrian government is absolutely opposed to all use of chemical weapons, which he called a war crime.